got an impromptu show. We're supposed to have been doing the football wrap-up show. However, we got a guest that's willing to join us right now to explain some of the things he's doing in the community because we all about community and people giving back and people helping and letting people know where the resources at and having to find assistance when they need it. We got Kevin Jamal Woolridge and we got brother Orane Williams. Everybody on my platform might know Kevin. Orane is a friend of mine as well on Facebook. I see him all over the place. Orane, let the audience know a little bit about your background and what you're into.
Hey, hello everyone. Good evening on this Friday night. So my name is Orane Williams, like Q said. I am the owner of Brand New Motivations. We do empowerment workshops for high school and college students, and sometimes young professionals around financial literacy, around entrepreneurship, around building relationships, just really trying to empower the community around those topics and some other things.
So where you located? Where'd you go to high school? Like, let us know, like, some of the stuff that people may not know where you from.
Right, right. So I went to high school in Union. So I went to Union High School. I went to William Patterson University in Wayne, New Jersey. Shout out to all my Willie P alum. I don't know if any of them follow you, but yeah, I live here in Union as well. So sometimes you may find me around the community, or you might find me at the airport catching a flight to go somewhere.
So tell us about exactly like what you do at your organization, what you're doing out in the community.
So my company, we go to schools, we go to conferences, and we do workshops around various topics. So, for example, next Wednesday, you can find me at North Star Academy down in North New Jersey, just doing an entrepreneurship workshop showing the young high school students why everyone needs to own a business. So that's just one example.
So which campus of North Star are you gonna be at if you don't mind me asking?
I believe it is the Lincoln Park campus.
Okay, the Lincoln Park Pass. Kevin, I see you there. I'm glad you had turned your mic off because that's where the echo coming. Both of y'all mics on. What's going on with you, Kev? What's the deal,
So,
Wall?
today's my birthday, everybody. So my great friend Orane Williams is actually we're right here in the same room together. So I pulled him upstairs. My family's upstairs. We having a good time. We're actually in my basement. And I said, Q, you should have such a huge platform. I was telling him like, yo, you need to get on my man Let's Talk show. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do a quick impromptu show. Me and this man has been friends since 1997 at Burnett High School. I mean, Burnett Middle School. It was a high school back in the day, Union. Um, I bounced a lot of ideas off him before I got started in the community. But me and him really, we might have did one event together, I believe. But our friendship's so strong, we said, you know what? You do your thing, I do my thing. We're not really gonna partner on things, but we bounce a lot of ideas off one another. And trust me, I'm a tough critic. He's a tough critic. Some things I do listen to with him, and sometimes I don't. And the same thing with me. And he's laughing because he understands, like the Urban League. He tried to get me involved with the Urban League, and I said, listen, man, I'm my own person. He's been pushing for me to join the Urban. I know Crystal real well, but me, I'm more like of a self-sufficient starter. I like doing my own thing. With many life experiences, when you have too many things going on, people just like, they want to pull at you when you got good things going on.
So
So,
so
we here.
tell us how last time we talked, Kev, you had to explain to me about the prom, the thing you would with the prom giveaway. How's that going?
It's not going as planned as I wanted to be honest with you. I thought that just reaching that platform of kids, like we're at a high school for the last 15, 20 years. So just trying to reach that market and seeing what they're on, it's really hard. I don't know if it's just because I labeled to just one township, or maybe I should do something different, but I'm still doing it. It's still out there, but let's see what happens. I have maybe one or two, three people, but it's not going like I wanted to go, but it's going.
Okay. So Rain, you gotta let us know, man, how we get in touch with you, brother. You ain't telling us nothing, man.
Absolutely. So my website is arainwilliams.com. So that's ORANE Williams.com, or just the way you could remember how to spell my name, Orange without the G. You could find me on Instagram at Orane Speaks, and I'm also on Facebook as well at Orane Williams.
So a lot of times when people see you, they might see you at the airport, so forth and so on. So what do you do when you travel? Is this more of like a vacation thing, or you basically trying to take care of business, branch out in other states?
So yeah, it's a combination of things. I also have a full-time job that allows me to travel. Sometimes I'm also traveling to do a speaking engagement, or it can be vacation as well. But I also travel is very passionate for me. I really love not only seeing different areas of the United States, but just exploring the globe as a whole.
Yeah, we definitely gonna look you out, man, and try to get you on, man. Kevin to put you in the Facebook group, as well as try to get you on the YouTube channel as well, so you can see the content, and you can add more to the content. I know I'm disturbing Kevin's party, man. I know y'all wanted to get back to partying, and
It's all good, Q.
hey, Kevin, man,
Here.
I told you I wanted your pops to try to come on, man, so he could. So tomorrow we having a show on manhood. So I wanted to basically get some brothers to come on and explain their definition of manhood and how manhood applies to them. And we have wanted some men of age, because a lot of times
we could do a quick impromptu on that right now with manhood, right?
If he want to get into it, you could definitely put big Kevin on. You could definitely.
Not with him, but as far as us, like those questions, very tough questions. But for me, it's more about building the next person up instead of knocking the next person down. And it doesn't matter what your race is. We should all be trying to work together and try to separate. Right now, we see a lot of people trying to separate each other when someone's doing their thing. Try to work with them instead of trying to say, you know what, why they doing their thing, or they work with this type of group of people. But if you never had a conversation with the person, how would you know what they're about?
Okay.
No matter of who they work with or what you tell, and just on my own experience, I could write a book on plenty of stories, but for me, manhood is about building the next person up, because look, we're all going to get a little older. It's going to be another young woman or a young man that has a fresh idea, and you might not relate to the same things that we're relating to today in the next 20 to 30 years. So it's about building the next person up. And I'm speaking for myself, and that's what I'm looking to do in my next endeavors with people. I work with anybody, but when you try to come in and just take things away, I have a big problem with that, because I know how hard it was for me when I first got started, and then when I tell people about it and they don't want to help, and it's like, once I get it going, don't try to jump on the shit when it's rolling. I tried to come to you before it was rolling, but now you want to jump on shit because it's rolling. That's not real to me. So, for me, it's about building the next person up, man or woman.
All right. What would be your definition of manhood, brother?
Man, manhood is about, taking care of business for yourself, for your family, and also, contributing to your community, bettering your community where you live, whether it's, volunteering, doing different things, but just really being that positive person, that person that serves as a mentor, serves as a leader. That's what I think my definition of manhood would be.
I see you, Kevin. You want to show us Legend? Who is that? Legend or Tony?
Oh, that's so. Look, it's my.
Kevin, hit your volume back on.
Yeah, we talk about man. This is what it's about: building up, building up men. But hold on, real quick. Hey, Dad, come on, real quick. Come here, real quick, Dad. Hey, Q.
Yeah.
You want real quick? You want a nice little show?
Yeah,
hey, look, come here, Dad.
Yeah, I want Big Kevin to get in this, man.
Hey, Dad, come here real quick. This everybody. Welcome. This is my pops, y'all. Hey, this is my boy Q. I'm on a podcast. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Big Kevin? I was telling Jamal to try to get you to come on our show tomorrow, but he explained to me that you and this computer stuff ain't that good. But since,
but I'm smart.
That's right. But since I call myself a student of life, while we got you here, you're our senior. Could you give us some tips on manhood?
Manhood. Well, being true to yourself. Be true to yourself. Don't lie. Accept responsibility. Believe in God. Gotta have faith. Take care of your family.
That's right. Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. I see why you wanted to move.
But
hey,
man, you know, man got to stand up to be a man. Don't be no fake cat out here. You know, except be real to yourself. Take care of your family. Believe in God. I don't lie to my kids, and try to pass on the lineage all the way down. Don't be selfish.
Okay. Great. I'm glad. I'm glad you Kevin happened to be having a party. Cause I told him, I said, yo, you think your pops will come on, man? He like, man, I don't know, man. I said, yo. So then he showed me y'all was in there playing cards. I said, get him to come downstairs, yo. Get him to come downstairs. So we glad you joined us, man. We appreciate you, brother.
And, appreciate you.
Hey, Q, real quick. You know, my dad ain't gonna. I'm promoting him like crazy. Look, if you are looking for a car, anything you want, the best financial manager in New Jersey, right here. Dad, tell him where you at, Dad. If you're looking at
I'm at Nissan 46, Route 46 in Totowa, New Jersey.
And tell them what you do.
Now, I'm a business manager, finance manager, as far as, you know, leasing, financing. I do the contracts. #1 dealership in New Jersey, #5 in the country.
Okay.
Route 46, Nissan 46 in Totowa, New Jersey.
Hey, Q, I'm taking over your show.
Like, no, man. We got the elder here, man. Tell us, do we got anything else to give us some advice, man? Anything, man?
Well, first of all, if you want to buy anything, keep your credit good. You got, pay your bills, keep your credit good.
Now, Dad, explain the credit situation. You got a lot of people with not so good credit, but tell them how you're a little fixed at that.
Well, I mean, first of all, if you're brand new, you have no credit, but you show a job, at least making $2,000 a month, and money talks. You got money down, the bank will give you a shot, give you a chance. I mean, if you got longevity in your job, you have good down payment. People's not putting down $5,000-$6,000 not to get the car repo. So when you show money down, they say money talks, the rest walks. Cash down is big. When you say job, that's a W-2 employee. W-2 employee is not a 1099. That's when you get paid and you got taxes taken out because they can verify your income. If you're 1099, they can't verify your income. You have to have verifiable income for the banks to give you money. And based on, you got to stay within your range. I mean, some people want the nice cars, but if you got credit and the bank say you can buy this car, but you can only pay, your payments is $300 a month, you got to either go to that car or put money down equal $300 a month. It's just based on you. Credit's the biggest thing. Remember, the game of Monopoly, you can have all the cash in the world in the game of Monopoly, you can't win the game because you don't own nothing. Credit.
That is true. Well, I'm glad you gave us a couple of minutes of your time, man. Appreciate you, man. And
appreciate you.
We get an extension of your knowledge when we talk to Jamal every day, man.
Oh, okay, yeah. We one and the same.
Yeah,
I like. His name is Kevin Wooders. I'm Kevin Wooders, so he lives on.
That's right.
God bless.
God bless.
I'll come back up today.
Hey, yo, so I'm gonna let y'all chill party, man. I appreciate this little 15-minute power hour, man. But
absolutely,
yeah,
what else going on? Hey, Orane, we gotta do something next time you get a chance and you got some time. We could promote the show. You could come on. You could just give everybody, because a lot of times you gotta, for me even too, sometimes you gotta walk people through what you actually do, and then it'll give people a better understanding of where they're at. Because everybody needs the financial guys and gals that's out here. Everybody, most of us living check to check. We ain't investing no money. We might think we need a lot of money to invest, and we don't know that. Like Kevin's father said, that we got credit, we could basically do some things and work around that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking to do just to give you a little quick preview of what's coming up. March 29th, I'm doing a male empowerment event right in Maplewood, New Jersey. So I'll definitely be able to, once I finalize things, shoot the information to you. And I hope to be on your show prior to that, but also working on potentially doing an event at one of either the Union Library or the Vauxhall Public Library.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Hey, we got Dwayne here, man.
What's going on? What's going on?
Dwayne,
Brother Williams.
our football wrap up show turned to an interview with Orane Williams real quick, and
Okay.
then we got some wisdom from these two younger brothers, and then Big Kevin came on and gave us some wisdom about manhood. I know we were supposed to do the football show. I mean, I don't know if that's what you still want to do, Wayne. We can still do that. You could talk about your position of manhood. I know from being your friend for a long time, Dwayne. Uh, Mr. Morris was a man of very few words, and
Yeah, I try not to say too much, but it's definitely good to be on with you, brothers. Hey, happy birthday, Kev.
Wayne, thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a blessing.
Appreciate
Yeah,
But,
yeah, yeah.
but, but real quick, I got an exit cue. It was great being on the show on an impromptu tip. Definitely look forward to seeing more interviews and being on another show later on.
please, Orain, get the information as soon as you finalize everything. Get the information to Kevin, and Kevin gonna shoot it to me ASAP so we can set everything up.
Absolutely, man. Take care, everybody.
All right, take it easy. Salute. Hey, Wayne.
What's going on, brother?
So you can basically get into whatever you want to get into about the football. Like I said, I introduced your pops. I mean, your pops passed away, but I know Mr. Morris, instilled some things in you about manhood that you know that you take and live to this day. And
Well, yeah, my pops basically one of the things he instilled in me is, be a man of your word, man. Like your word is everything. In this life, all you got is your name. Once your name is sullied, that's it. So, for me, for manhood, I just love my brothers. I love people of all creeds, nationalities, but just I like as a man to try to be as honest in my dealings as possible, man. And just like my father, Q, when we talked about my father, one of the things that our neighborhood knew about is, that Blue Caprice Classic was coming to all the events and taking everybody home and just trying to be a man of his community. So that's why I try to do the most that I can for my community.
they always want to call Dwayne whenever he live. They always want to call him when they know he live, yo. Now we could get to football, guys. Hey man, what do y'all think about
I'm back.
what do y'all think about the Super Bowl, man?
Oh, wait, I think Wayne gonna call you back,
Yeah,
Q.
he'll be back. You can go ahead. You can talk more.
For me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little biased when it comes to Super Bowl because, like any fan, I'm a Giant fan, diehard Giant fan, and if my team is not really in it, I'm not really watching, but I do watch it. So for me, it's a little different because I'm not like the average fan where I root for all teams. I like my team a lot. So I'm a little biased towards the Super Bowl if my team's not in it. Just like NBA, the same thing. I watch it because I'm a fan, but I'm not really into it as much as other people are. But I think it was a good game. A lot of 49er fans. 49ers haven't been there since the 90s, I believe. So you had that. But I think I like it a lot because Andy Reid got a championship. And if you haven't seen the Michael Vick special, I think that you really would appreciate Michael. You will really appreciate Andy Reid more because after Michael Vick was incarcerated, Donovan McNabb gave him a call like, yo, I could bring you over to, I could bring you. Sorry, I could bring you guys. Somebody calling me. I could bring you guys over to Philly when he gave Michael Vick a shot. So just that standpoint, that was, I like that story.
What do you think about the Super Bowl, Wayne?
Well, I'm a football head, so I'm watching the XFL tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So football is what I do. But I thought the Super Bowl was really, really good, man. It started off, with the 49ers pretty much dominating the first three quarters. But the Chiefs have shown this
Hey,
off
Q,
season.
I gotta go back up.
All right, Kev.
Uh,
But
yeah,
the Chiefs shown this offseason that they're a team that came back from adversity. Down 24-0 to the Texans. They were down also in the Titans game, and then down 20-10 to the 49ers. So, they were a resilient bunch, man. And Pat Mahomes, this 2 years as a starter to be the two AFC championship games and then to finish it off with a Super Bowl this year. If he stays healthy, his future is definitely bright. But I thought it was a really, really good game. My favorite part of the game was when they went and they ran that single wing play. They took it from the 1949 Rose Bowl and on 4th and 1 to come up with something like that. It was really, really good. One of the things, I don't want to say disappointing, but I just think opportunities for certain coaches, especially minority coaches in the NFL, is lacking right now. So you had the offensive coordinator of the Chiefs and the defensive coordinator of 49ers. They both interviewed for positions and didn't get them. And it's kind of crazy when you think about it. Eric Bieniemy, he's been working with Andy Reid for a while now, and for him to not get an opportunity, something has to be done. I was glad to see that Roger Goodell said that, they really have to explore this Rooney Rule because it's just not effective right now. It's good that brothers and minorities are getting opportunity to interview, but they're just not getting those opportunities to get the position. So, but yeah, Super Bowl was good. I know it's a lot of fanfare around it with the commercials, and there was for some reason some controversy with the halftime show, but the game itself was very well played, I thought.
yeah. Me and you had shared the sentiments, Wayne. I actually wanted the Chiefs to win, but the Chiefs actually got outplayed, except the last 8 9 minutes of the game.
Oh, absolutely. The
The,
one thing I think as 49er fans or just fans of the NFL, one of the things that struck me was I don't think Kyle Shanahan had a lot of confidence in Jimmy G. Now, most NFL games, if you look at it, you right before halftime, about 2 minutes, a little under 2 minutes to go, and you got three timeouts. Usually teams take shots. And it seemed to me like they were afraid to let Jimmy G take shots downfield. Like, I mean, they got that one penalty, which moved the ball down the field. But other than that, they were just content to run the ball and go into halftime at 10-10, which was pretty shocking to me that you got this quarterback that you're paying a lot of money to, and it just seemed like they did not trust him. They just wanted to stay with their running game.
I'm gonna ask you, Wayne. I know you had mentioned Bienemy and what you call it, the other Salah
Yeah.
being minorities and not getting a job. Do you think one of the issues with not getting an interview or a job is the lack of if we know if he's calling plays or doing play designs? I know it's been some talk that Bienemy specifically, like literally, design is the game planner.
He's a game planner, but Andy Reid actually calls the majority of the plays on game day. I think to change what's happening as far as African Americans and other minorities not getting opportunities. I mean, Ron Rivera, he went from Carolina and now he's at Washington, so he was a wash. I think part of the problem is there's not enough minority coordinators. So if you look at it, it's an offensive league, right? So if you look at offensive coordinators in the National Football League, it's just not a lot of minorities there. Now, there are 10 minority defensive coordinators, but on the offensive side of the ball, which seems that's where the game is going, We're just not getting a lot of those opportunities, and you're basically going to pull from your head coaching candidate is going to be a coordinator. Either offensive, defensive, or special teams coordinators. And right now, it's just not enough minorities getting that opportunity. So until we get that opportunity, it's going to be very hard to rise to the head coaching level as well.
I know one of the things that you had shared with me is that and we both follow the same professional team
Yeah,
was
those Dallas Cowboys. It's
you
okay.
you like the fact that McCarthy is hiring a bunch of different people, young and old, and he is hiring a lot of minorities. Um, and a lot of people always say that would never land well in Texas. What do you think about that?
Well, I think he's doing a very good job. And if you look at that Cowboy staff, there are a lot of minorities on it, and his assistant head coach that he brought in. And think about the assistant coach that he brought in. He brought him in for culture. He brought him in for a locker room. But still, even in the fact that McCarthy has brought in a lot of African Americans, his offensive coordinator is white, his defensive coordinator white, his special teams coach is white. And that's where we're getting our future head coaches from. So I like the diversity of the Dallas Cowboys staff. I think they did a really good job with that, and we just gotta keep building on it. I love the fact, just to get off topic a little bit, that the Cleveland Browns. I don't know if a lot of people understand this, but the Cleveland Browns has hired a 32-year-old African American to be their general manager. So that's a huge, huge hire just to see what he's going to do. And, not to make it a race thing, but the game needs more diversity and leadership positions. I mean, the league itself is about 70, 71% African American. So, we just need those opportunities. And I think the Rooney Rule started off as a good thing because it was getting minorities the opportunity to get in front of owners. But you know how it is when you own something, when you the coach of something, you go with who you know. You go with who you trust. So, Mike McCarthy, just using the Cowboys as an example, he went with three coordinators that two that he knows, and one being Kellen Moore, who was with the Cowboys last year, and they had number one offense, even though we, because I'm a Cowboy fan, went 8-8.
So it would basically you don't want to try to stop the retreads from coming through, but you got to promote these position coaches that are minorities to coordinators to get
Absolutely.
them to be like because when you think about it, you're right. There isn't many minority coordinators. I think I don't even know if Raheem Morris is a coordinator anymore.
I don't believe he's a court. He may have. They may have. He was. I know last year he was like a defensive line linebacker type coach. I think Atlanta may have moved him back into a defensive coordinator role for the 2020 season.
And then Steve Wilkos got fired his first year,
Yep.
and Vance Joseph got fired after their first year. So
Yeah.
it's like you hired these guys that were coordinators, but they got fired after 1 year due to program change. In Steve
Yeah.
Wilkes' case, they got the first pick, and that changed their whole franchise over again.
Absolutely. And then you think about a guy like Marvin Lewis, right? He was Cincinnati. They didn't win Super Bowls, but they were consistent. They were a consistent team. They were always pushing for the playoffs. You remove him, and what did they win? One game this year?
Yeah,
So how bad was he really?
I think a lot of people, when it come to the Cincinnati job, didn't understand how he changed the culture of the whole organization from A to Z. They were more concerned. The media was more concerned talking about the wins, and then eight and eight, 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 no wins. No, it's bigger than that. Like
Absolutely.
they didn't even have advanced scouting in the early '90s when he got
Right.
there. '95, I think, when he got there. But
So let me
anything
ask
else?
you let me ask you a
No,
question, Q, because I know this was a debate. Do you think Patrick Mahomes deserved the MVP, or did you think Damian Williams should
I
have got
think
it?
I think as usual in sports, they always go with the safe pick.
Right.
I think Williams should have got it, but Patrick Mahomes. I'm not gonna say he don't got all the tools, But the amazing thing, like we always talk about sports, is sports comes up. Sports, as when we were kids, and it should still be that way. Sports does not need a narrative written for it. It creates its own narrative.
Absolutely.
For them to be down 10 points or more in three playoff games and still won, it's incredible. And
It
basically,
is.
it was their year. So then on top of that, the most glamorous position on any team is the quarterback.
There's a quarterback.
And what he did in that fourth quarter was spectacular. I mean, he was actually reading the defense because, like you uh, posted during that time, Bosa was coming,
He was
and,
coming. He's
and,
a
and
beast.
Bosa is not just no good player. Bosa has the chance to go down as one of them all time greats, and that's just after 1 year, because he was making that left tackle look like Swiss cheese
Oh
over there.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Bosa's
mean,
a beast.
I
I
mean
mean, I don't,
Schwartz held his own every now and then,
he
but
did.
when he went to that other side, he
Yeah.
was roasting
Bosa's
them.
Bosa's a beast. I mean, I don't agree with some of the stuff he say off the field.
Oh
Let
no,
me say
definitely
I
not.
don't agree with any. Let me correct that. I don't agree with anything he says off the field, but on the field, he's definitely a star.
Matter of fact, Bosa shouldn't even talk for the rest of his career. But
Nah,
anyway,
just keep your mouth shut
but
unless you talking about football. I mean, I don't
but
want to, you know.
going forward as usual, mainstream media they always start their stuff with the dynasty. Like you
Yeah,
don't you you
I
don't
don't.
know you don't know what's gonna happen. Like injuries happen, guys get fat eating off the land, and it's like they already thinking that
Listen, the one good
Kansas City's
thing.
gonna have a run.
Listen, one good thing I love about football, right, is you truly don't know at the beginning of the year who's gonna be there in the end. Like you look at baseball, you know pretty much going into every baseball season, there's only going to be about 4 or 5 teams that's going to compete. You know, the Yankees are always going to be there, the Dodgers, just because it's so much payroll driven. Basketball, you know, the Lakers is going to be there. You know, LeBron's going to be there. Football is that one sport, man, where other than the Patriots, right? Patriots is a dynasty. Last 20 years, all you hear about is the Patriots. But think about the NFC, man. There's been a different team representing the NFC every year, man, for like a decade. So that's the great thing about the sport of football. I think the parity that's in it, the way that it's situated. Um, as a fan of football, I'm not too thrilled about what I was hearing where they were saying they won't include quarterback salaries in the salary cap. I think that's the wrong way to go. I think quarterbacks make too much money, to be honest.
Well, I
When
would
you
say
when
if
you
they
think
do,
about it,
I will say if they do decide to go that way, you may mess up with the parity because a team like the Raiders are family owned, and that's
right,
all he owns.
right,
I mean, they're about to get an influx of cash coming from moving to Vegas, but at the end of the day, they don't have the money to compete with the Cronkies at
true,
all. They
true,
don't have the
true.
money to compete with Paul Allen's family. They don't have money where to compete with Jerry Jones, where Jerry Jones could say, you know what? I'm gonna just give my quarterback $50 million a year because it
That's what
ain't
I'm
gonna hurt
saying.
my cap.
Right.
That's something that they need to really not consider, not consider.
And,
But
and,
go,
and speaking of Jerry Jones and speaking of the Cowboys, what do you think the cap is on Dak Prescott? How much are you willing to give him?
I think Dak Prescott is gonna get $35 million a year. 35. That's a little bit more than I think they expected to pay him. He did have
Right.
a good year. We still are 8-8, but going forward, $35 million a year for a guy that you could sign up for 16 games a season. You know what you're gonna get out of him.
Absolutely.
He's see one thing about the Cowboys quarterback position is not just on the field. It is how you conduct yourself in that spotlight. He does get endorsement deals because he's the quarterback of the Cowboys, but however, he's handled that exceptionally well. So I think he'll get that $35 million, and in 2 years, it'll look like he's underpaid. Definitely if he performs well
They
on the
will.
field.
But I
And
think they better go ahead. I think they better go ahead and take care of that before Kansas City extends Patrick Mahomes. Because
Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes might get 50.
that's what I'm saying. And that's gonna throw off the whole balance of how much these quarterbacks are really, really worth. I'll also be interested, moving into the off season to see what Tennessee is going to do with Derrick Henry. I think he's definitely the cog that makes that offense works, and he deserves his money. And I just feel like the running back position is completely undervalued. And if you look at it, once you got into the playoffs, a lot of these teams was run teams. The Titans made their run behind a strong running game. The 49ers, it was a running game. The Chiefs is about the only team that was really doing it in the playoffs through the end. So
what sealed their victory was the running game.
And the running game. You think about it. You're right. I mean, Damian Williams, he really stepped up. When you look at the playoffs that Damian Williams had, man, I mean, of course, Patrick Mahomes had a great postseason. But I don't think people are looking enough at the fact that Damian Williams scored 11 touchdowns in this postseason. And somebody could say, like, that last touchdown, should he have slid down because the game was in the balance? Man, it's the Super Bowl. Go get in that zone, seal that deal the right way. So it's still something for a good, strong running game in this league. So I'm hoping a person like Derrick Henry gets his money. He deserves it. I hope Tennessee steps up and gives that man what he deserves. It's going to be a very interesting offseason in the NFL. You got a lot of free agents. You got Tom Brady is a free agent.
Yeah, we got potentially 9 to 10 quarterbacks switching cities, which is like unprecedented for that to happen in one season.
Yeah, and you got Drew Brees. He's a free agent. What's going to happen with Phillip Rivers? It's a lot of movement. I think it's a lot of excitement. I think the NFL draft this year is going to be amazing because it's in Las Vegas. So, the NFL, man, it takes a lot of knocks. A lot of people got a lot of things to say about it. But, hey, it's the money maker. The NFL making that money, and it continues to flourish. And hopefully these officials get a little bit more consistent. I mean, I don't even know why they got a play clock anymore because it seems like every week there's delay of games that's not being called. And I know in that Super Bowl, the 49ers had a delay of game that they wish was called, and it wasn't called in that situation. So, I don't know. You see a lot of stuff where people say, oh, the refs is cheating, this, that, and the third. I think in these games, these penalties, they balance each other out. There are some that are much more difficult to deal with than others. But, Q, you know what I always said? I had a person in my ear since I was young that would be like, you getting all involved in these games and the fixes. So it's amazing that Vegas is always on the numbers. I don't know how that happens. Always on the number.
When Williams scored that last touchdown, the first thing I said was, "What was the spread?"
Exactly.
What was the spread? We got another special. We got a special guest for you, Dwayne.
Okay, I like special guests.
And I know you're gonna be happy when you see this face.
Okay.
This handsome gentleman is here to join us.
Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Where he come from? That's my brother. What's up, Ab?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, you giant fan? What's going on?
You already know.
What you in the bodega? What you getting?
Nah, man, I'm in the office. I just got done working, man.
So tell us what you think about the Super Bowl.
Dwayne, I have to talk to Ab about something.
Oh, I know what it is.
Brother Ab, it has been a tumultuous 3 weeks in your life.
Uh-oh.
The ups and downs that you've had to deal with, Ab, are amazing. You've had to deal with Judge Joe Brown. You've had to deal with
Joe Judge.
Joe Judge, the coach. You've had to deal with your favorite basketball player passing away.
Yeah, rest in peace, Kobe.
And
rest in peace to the coach.
Even though this is a football show, I would be, as they say, I'm trying to go down this journalistic path, but I really have to be serious about something.
Talk to me.
Let's talk about those kids beating up that coach.
Man, I don't know. As a former coach at Malcolm X Shabazz High School, I don't know if I'm even at liberty to talk about this, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. Um, it's these kids cut from a different cloth, man. It's this is something that we were growing up. Coaches were like parents, and we feared them.
Right.
I would never in my life lift my hand to a coach other than to give him a high five or embrace him. That's the way I was taught. That's the way I was raised. I can't express the disappointment that I see that I've seen in this situation, and I gotta go there. African American males embarrassing us as a people. Okay, it hurts even more that this incident started in Livingston High School, where these kids were acting a little disorderly, and they were doing some things they shouldn't have been doing. I'm not gonna go into detail, but number one, in that community, in that environment, it's embarrassing because you can, if the authorities get involved, the ending could be traumatic, and y'all know where I'm going. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? And then for you to get into an altercation with your teammates in Livingston, like, and Dwayne, we known each other a long time. If there's an issue, we handle business in house.
Yeah, you got
You
to do it in
don't
the
do that.
house.
You don't do that outside the house. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying? So you had some business that you need to deal with, and you allowed it to go outside of the house. That's number one. Um, so then a coach, and we're not gonna say no names, but we have a
Nah.
coach who's a basketball coach at Malcolm X Shabazz High School in Newark, New Jersey. He did everything he can to protect the child that was um, in question. And then they turned around and said, "Okay, you want to protect him? Well, now we're gonna come after you." And that hurts, man. You know what I'm saying? That hurts, but it starts at home. You know what I'm saying? It starts at home, and this particular group of young men who were JV basketball players at Shabazz, I think if these kids would have been dealt with and reprimanded in the past, then I don't think it would even gotten this far. But you have some people who are in the school system, in the administration, and like sometimes the administration, some of them are doing it for a check. And I'm not saying that this about the people at Shabazz, but some of them are doing it for the check. And then sometimes people are fearful. So you like, if I discipline this kid a certain way, this may happen. If I do this to this kid, this may happen. So it's like at some point, you as an administrator, your hands are tied. But you cannot ever let it get to a point whereas you cannot protect your staff and protect your kids. When you're putting the safety, the health, well-being, and welfare of certain individuals, whether it be your students, your faculty, whoever, man, all bets is off. You got to do everything in your power to protect your people. And if you can't, attitude, I was always taught, attitude reflects leadership.
Yes, it does.
Let me say it again. Attitude reflects leadership. And if the leadership is weak, it's a domino effect, man. It's a domino effect. I'm sorry, I might have went on too long on that one, but
Nah, you fine with that.
that
And
that
and,
that was
and
deep, man. It
I
was
just
like the
feel
whole
like
situation is just hurtful.
right, and I feel like
Mhm.
that coach in that situation, it's all on TMZ and all that stuff now. But I feel like that coach in that situation, it was a no-win situation for him, right? So if he squares up and God forbid knocks one of them out, then it's gonna be like, he a grown up, he shouldn't have put his hands on those kids.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
so he had to try to protect himself. Unfortunately, he stumbled on the curb,
Yeah, that's
and then
exactly
they
what
jumped
happened.
on him. But I'm like,
Mhm.
there's so much that could have went wrong in that situation. It was wrong,
Yeah,
but there's so
yeah.
much more that could have went wrong in that situation.
I respect them and I commend them for maintaining composure and not throwing one punch. Everybody like,
Right.
oh, he should have did this, he should have did that. Man, like you said, he put his hands on them kids, and because at the end of the day, he's a grown man.
He's a grown man.
Okay, he put his hands on one of them kids and caused some serious bodily harm to one of them kids. break a kid's jaw, fracture eye socket, something along those lines. Who knows? Maybe one of those kids had asthma and they got to go to the hospital. The first thing they're gonna do is go to the hospital, and the medical staff of the hospital gonna say, "Hey, son, what's your name? What's your date of birth?" They gonna find out he's a minor. What happened to you? He gonna say, "I got into a fight with one of my basketball coaches at my school, and he broke my jaw." Not knowing the whole
The
backstory,
whole backstory. Yeah.
and they're gonna say, "Oh my gosh, are you serious? Is that what happened?" They're gonna call the local police. They're gonna call Child Protective Services. Child Protective Service has a institute called IAIU, Institutional Abuse Investigation. They're gonna come out, and it's gonna be like they're gonna be blaming this coach for everything that he did, not knowing the backstory. You know what I'm saying? So he did.
Yeah.
I commend the brother, man. I commend
For
him.
for
And give him a run.
for for
Maintaining restraint.
you know,
Maintaining restraint.
I saw it, and when I first seen it, I thought it was a joke. Then when I seen it again and realized it was Shabazz, the first thing I thought about, because I actually went to Shabazz for a year, and the first thing I thought about was, it's no way these kids could have known who Lou Grimsley was,
Thank you.
because this man
Right.
set
The greatest,
this coach
the
set a
greatest
standard.
basketball coach, the
He
greatest
set a
male
standard.
basketball coach in Shabazz history.
He set a standard there before basketball, that
That's
you
right.
was a man.
That's
That
right.
you was a man when I walked around that school. You was a man, and it's scary. It's scary for seeing a lot of people may not understand, and I know Dwayne. Both of you guys are coaches,
Mm-hmm.
and both the employment that you have, Ab, you're around kids a lot, and
Yeah.
I don't think people understand that the last 15 years, 15, 16 years, we had an influence of gangs.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
these guys ain't gang members like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like the
Yeah.
really, for lack of better words, and I'm not trying to make it minimize it, the gang issue is really dying down in our communities. It's not
Yeah.
like it was 15 years ago where everybody was in the gang. You got a
Yeah.
lot of guys that's just running around here neutral. So to see
Yeah.
something like that is, I've never seen anything like that but Latrell Sprewell, and I hate to use that as an example,
Right.
but
Mm-hmm.
I've never, for kids
Yeah.
to put their hands on an adult,
Yeah.
and knowing how society is nowadays, coaching is not the way it used to be. Where
No.
most coaches now have to be a little bit caring, a little bit soft. Most of our coaches coming up, they ran dictatorships.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
they also taught us about being men before we was able to play sports. So I think that has a lot to do with it, and I think that some major good can come out of what's done,
Mm-hmm.
uh, from a parent standpoint, from a school standpoint, and I think that really a lot of these school districts in this state of New Jersey can
Mm-hmm.
take their lead from what happened in Shabazz and be like, yo, this can happen,
Yeah.
because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, parenting, respect, attitude, sportsmanship, it starts at home.
It does.
Well,
It
man,
starts
go
at
ahead.
home.
Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Good.
Dwayne.
Good.
No, I mean I agree with you, and that's like not to go back to the other show that we did before, like the role of the coach is another perfect example of it, and I agree with that. Right, you want to try to, you know, like it's like my mother used to tell me, like when I did something in public that she ain't like, she kind of let it ride until I got home,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was taken care of in a different manner,
That's right.
and I think this is what this gentleman was trying to do, but
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't really given an opportunity to, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just terrible that it played out that way, and then it's just a black eye because now you know what it is. Oh, they just want to cast a whole wide net on Shabazz, on the city of Newark, all that for the actions of these four. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not totally fair. It's
Right.
not.
It's
And
and it's some
I
it's some
think
good things going on in Newark, man.
yeah, and I think it's a shame, me personally, that people are sitting here and making light of that coach's situation. I just ask anybody, what would you really do in that situation? Like, what could that man have done differently? You know, I don't know.
There's nothing he
Let me
could have
say,
done.
yeah.
It's
Let me
it's
say this though,
it's
man.
nothing he could have done. It's nothing he could have done that could have made him walk away from that, as we say, with his head held high, and his integrity is still intact as a man.
Absolutely.
Because trust
Mm-hmm.
me, real men recognize what he did. He showed a lot of
Absolutely.
leadership, and he showed that he's more than just a basketball coach.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, Ab,
I
what was
mean,
you about to say?
Ab talk about it all the time. Ab talks about, we're life coaches.
Yeah, man.
Before we're even coaches on the field of play, we gotta be life coaches, man. And we gotta
Mm-hmm.
start holding these kids accountable. And not just these kids, man. I gotta say it. We gotta start holding these parents accountable for their kids' actions. Because you know what, a lot of times it's gonna the narrative will be, well, what did he do? Or what did he say to
Mm-hmm.
the kids? Did he
Mm-hmm.
embarrass the kid? What did he
Right.
do? That's what we quick to do all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the sad part. That's
But
really the sad part.
Let me ask you a question, man, because I don't know if you want to tell my audience what you do for employment full time. If you care to share.
I'm actually just getting done at work. I work for the new name is called the Division of Child Protection and Permanency. Um, and I go to people's homes and I tell them that, and they're like, "Huh?" And then I tell them I work for DIFUS, and that's the name that everybody knows, and that's what we knew as kids growing up. They're like, "Oh, okay." They changed the name. We do the same thing. My check ain't much different, but they changed the name.
I know
But
I know Ab.
I have I have
Let
no
me
problem discussing it. So
let me ask you a question, man. And I know we might have touched on it in the coaches show, and this issue, man.
mm,
I don't even know how you could feel if this case was in front of your caseload. You're a coach. You're an
mhm,
employee that has to investigate this type of stuff. I mean,
mhm,
I don't want to get into whether you can discuss it or not. It's like,
yeah. And the difficult thing for me is um, this is more so. It's not even really a DIFUS issue because we deal with child abuse and neglect. I mean, we may get involved with something like this, but at the end of the day, we advocate for the children and these young men. I'm assuming that most of them, if not all of them, are minors. So that'll put it in a difficult situation because now it's like after what they did, you know, as a man, as an adult, you want to wring these young boys' neck, but then you like as a professional, you got to put yourself in a position like, all right, what can I do to help this kid? At this point, you have to find out what's the deep rooted issue. Where is what made this kid feel like okay, this man pissed me off, I'm gonna attack him. Not this kid, these young men, these 5, 6, 7, however many it was, young men. What made them want to do this? What's going on in their life? What's going on at home? Why are they so angry that they would want to attack a grown man who's trying to help them win basketball games?
hmm,
Like that's what you got to get into. What's going on at home? Where's mom? Where's dad? Where's grandma? Where's auntie? Where's uncle? What happened to you as a youth? You know what I'm saying? You got to get down to the deep rooted issue. We would never do nothing like that.
No.
I, the thought has never crossed my mind. Now I've seen some parents attack coaches before, or not even seen it personally because I've never seen it up close and personal. But I've heard and I've seen stuff on the news.
We lost him.
yeah, that's his end. He'll jump back in.
Yeah, but the ass point, like, inside joke, Q know what it is. But we had situations when we was with our middle school basketball coach, but we ain't blatantly disrespect him. We just did something for ourselves to say, okay, he gonna keep doing this or that to us, then we're gonna do this. But it wasn't a disrespect thing, and that's the thing, man. As I've said, but add back, so you can go ahead and finish. I don't know, we lost him again. But as he said, like somewhere along the line, man, they just totally lost respect for that man, for that coach, man, and that's the sadness about it to me.
I've never, like I said, I've never outside of Latrell Sprewell situation. I've never seen nothing so egregious in my life. It's just like, really? This how y'all
Right.
coming? Like,
And you know, athletes, it's okay. Athletes ain't always gonna agree with their coaches, man, but it's a better way to handle that, you know?
yeah, yeah. So I don't know, Wayne, man. Ab might, reception in the building might have went out on him. I mean, that could be a wrap, man. I've been This the second show I did, but this,
Really? Oh,
you
okay.
know,
You did.
yeah.
Hey, keep hitting them.
I wanted to
Keep
do the
hitting them.
Super
Keep
Bowl
hitting
wrapped
them.
up turn of this, and then
Yeah. Well, you know,
Ab
it's good.
and yourself being coaches, I
Yeah, I
wanted to
mean,
really address that situation.
it's a hot topic, man, and again, it's just I don't know how we fix it. I think open dialogue. I think really discussing it with an open mind. As you can see, man, there's been a lot of different things that have been going on. Like, hey, we canceling Gail King, so there's a
Yeah,
lot. But it's just open dialogue, man. We got to be able to communicate with each other. We got to be able to respect each other. And that's just not in the sports realm. That's when we was talking about manhood a little bit earlier. For
hmm
me, man, it's just having that respect. I mean, we see it. We see it in everyday life. We got a man at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue that don't got respect for nobody. Yeah, I said it. He don't have respect for nobody. And that just seems like that's the way we going now, man. And we got to get that respect back. We got to get that respect back, you know, community, I ride through the community that I love. I don't live in Vauxhall Union anymore, but still when I go home is not what it once used to be for me. So I ride up and down Springfield Avenue and I see things and I'm a little saddened by it, but we got to build
My bad,
community
fellas.
back up. And if we build our community back up, we're going to make stronger men and women, you know, because we got to be the ones to foster that change.
that's right. Hey, Ab, you got any closing thoughts, brother?
My
We
bad,
gonna
fellas.
close
I had to
out.
step away for a second. Can y'all hear
That's
me?
that's totally yeah, that's understandable. We can hear you. You got any closing thoughts, Ab? What you want to give us about just what he died down
He
again.
died down again.
Yeah. So we just wrap it up, Wayne, man. Like like I told you yesterday, you're more than welcome to come to tomorrow's show on Manhood. I
Brother,
expect a
I just
different. It's gonna be a different style of show tomorrow. For
brother,
those,
I just want to say something and I hate to cut you off, man. But let me just say this, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You having real conversations about a lot of things, man.
appreciate that.
And to me, this is a blessing. And I hope everybody is out there. They liking, they subscribing. Even if every topic that this man discussed may not be for you, but there's something in this for everyone. And I'm so thankful for this platform,
Appreciate that.
brother. And you just keep doing it, man. Just keep doing it, cause we need it.
Hey, Ab, like I was
Yeah, my
telling,
bad, fellas.
I was telling Dwayne tomorrow we having a discussion on manhood, and
Mm.
you more than welcome to join. The way tomorrow's show gonna be, it's gonna be a little different. Basically, I done invited a whole bunch of brothers, so you
Uh-oh.
could come in, shoot your spill on manhood, say what you believe manhood is, and keep it pushing. I mean, it ain't gonna be too many, a whole bunch of stuff. It's just one of the things that I noticed is that a lot of times our women don't think that we build each other up as men or don't hold each other accountable. So tomorrow's show is not only that, but it's the proof that it's real brothers out here trying to make differences in not only their lives but in the community. So
Let me say this, man. I'm a hold my tongue to tomorrow, boy, because I can go in on this topic right now. Man, some of the stuff that they be saying about us and feeling about us and bashing us, woo, I tell you. Mm. But I'm
so
a, I'm a
you
hold it for tomorrow.
so you already know, Ab. The link will be forwarded to you, brother.
Yes, sir.
That that
Please
that
do. What time we talking? What time
It's gonna be
tomorrow?
7:30.
Perfect.
7:30. Like I said, I know how you are. The family coaching. Listen, if you could just come in, say what you need to say how you feel, and just keep it moving. Because, like I said, we out here, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say how I feel. I'm gonna tell it like it is.
Is there anything you want to wrap up with the situation that we talked about, or the topic was the Super Bowl wrap up show, but we went way off that
I
because
ain't even get to touch on the Super Bowl.
Well, go ahead and
Man,
talk to it.
shout out to the Chiefs and their fans. I know two Chiefs fans, and they're actually a couple, believe it or not. Um, a young lady I work with and her fiance. They're the only Chiefs fans I know. My man Tone Smith, shout out to him. Um, Tone's first, Chiefs don't come to town much. Tone's first Chiefs game, I made it happen for him. We went to a preseason game. My boy was ecstatic, and he got to see his Chiefs play. And now that the fact they won the Super Bowl is even, it's just a great thing. I'm happy for them. Patrick Mahomes, I mean, it speaks for itself, man. The boy is off the charts, man. Patrick Mahomes is off the charts.
Ab,
He is just one of the. He's just he a bad boy. Talk to me.
I got a question for you, Ab.
Hmm.
Are we gonna see a little bit of that single wing play being run in West Orange next football
Come on,
season?
come on now, Dwayne. Come on, man. I'm not. That's classified information right there. You know that's that's top secret right there.
well, listen,
We
man.
can't touch on that
I'm
one.
glad you brothers could join me, man. I'm gonna end the broadcast, but we can stay on the line and finish kicking it.
All right,
But I'm
brother.
gonna end the
Absolutely.
broadcast, man. Glad y'all could join us, man. Once again, like, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully, we brought to light some of the issues that's plaguing our communities, and hopefully, we got to get a positive solution to what's next. Thank you, and have a blessed night.
Rest in peace, Cole.